like to come to a comfortable place on your mat. I'm Claire, for those of you who I haven't had the fortune of spending time with yet. Thank you very much for allowing me to serve you today. And I will offer you all that I can for this practice today. It is an Iyengar inspired practice. And I like to start with just setting our intention for our practice. Sometimes I take something from BKS's Iyengar's book, Light on Yoga and Light on Life. And today I will be sharing from this book here, which is called Sparks of Divinity. And Guruji there looks very thoughtful in that picture. So please close your eyes and just allow your sense of hearing to open. And I have a few things to share with you today from these sparks of divinity. Iyengar says this to us: do the asana without fail, but not aggressively. Get control on all, but without strain. Do your work well and feel moment to moment as though it is the service you are doing for the Lord. Do think of him. He goes on to say, yoga makes the sincere practitioner an integrated personality. It helps the harmonious development of body and mind. It develops a feeling of oneness between us and nature, us and each other, and us and our maker, thus aiding a feeling of identity with the spirit pervading all creation. You need discipline. To go on with the pose requires endurance. Also, stretch a little bit more. If there is a stretch somewhere that is positive, softness is negative. We must watch and make positive the negative side, and vice versa. And finally, for our intention, when one side is more active than the other, the active side must become the guru for the inactive side to make it active. For the weakest side, we must use more intelligence. We must show more care. As we show keener interest and attention to improve a dull, sleepy friend than for an eager, intelligent one. In the same way, you have to act on either side of the body. Take a few breaths here, just allowing those wise words to linger a little longer. And gently opening your eyes with a wide, soft gaze. Now would be a good time if there are any injuries or aches and pains or niggles that it would be important for me. I know we're in a group setting, so we have to be prepared to share within the group, which is a safe group. If there are any aches and pains or twinges, if all is good, just give me a thumbs up. Okay, excellent. For those of you that I can see. Okay. I use some terminology, new hands and old hands. I'll use this through the class, and please be intelligent with how you feel in each asana. And if you feel like taking a new hand, like a complete beginner, and I often feel like that, a new hand stance in that particular posture today, then please take that. And if everything feels like it's opening and expanding beautifully, then stick around for a few more breaths, feeling like a more experienced, older hand in that asana. There's no judgment from me. Please don't judge yourself. Just look at each posture as it is in that moment. And finally, please make sure you have, with an Iyengar-inspired practice, we use lots of accessories sometimes. So if you've got bolster, strap, bricks, blankets, we will be using those things today. So please just take a moment or two to gather those things, and I will head to the mat as you're doing so, and we'll get started. Now being on my mat, can I just ask you to give me the thumbs up that you can still see me and hear me okay? Yeah? Great. Okay. Please start with a brick, blanket or cushion, bolster. We're going to put our feet onto the bolster like so. Soles of the feet together. Supta Baddha Konasana. Gently recline yourself back. Feel free to put in a blanket under the back of the head. We're going to take little goddess arms or wings by your sides. Alternatively, you can stretch the arms out with your palms up. Starting with a gentle body scan. Bringing our awareness into our gross physical body. Finding the intelligence of the body. This amazing vehicle that we've been given for a temporary time. Feel the pads of your toes gently pressing together. Notice which parts of the soles of your feet are meeting and where there is space. Noticing in your hips which side feels more open. Without judgment, just right here, right now, which side is more open. What you could do, if you can reach for a brick, the side that's more open, so where Iyengar said to us, pay more attention to the lazy, sleepy side, I would put a support under the side where it feels more open to allow that lazier side, the sleepy side, to get a bit more space. Take your attention to the back of your torso, noticing which parts of your back are in contact with your mat, and where there is space. Attention to the front of the torso, observing the movement of the rib cage as you breathe in and out. If your eyes are open, you can take your gaze down to the rib cage. You can start to notice if there's any imbalances. Sometimes one side of the rib cage is sitting higher than the other side. If you can notice where your lazy side is, you could just slip a little blanket under there. Noticing now which parts of your arms, the back of your arms, are in contact with the floor. And even your fingernails, which of your fingernails can you feel pressing into the floor? Draw your chin down towards the chest. And observe where at the back of your head you are connected to your mat. If your eyes are open, noticing where your eyes are moving to. If your eyes are closed, where can you feel the movement of the eyeballs? Be sure that there is a gap between the upper and lower jaw. And that the tongue is relaxed. Take 3 more breaths in and out here. Starting to bring the inner thighs together. Take your time. Stretch the legs out. Maybe the back of the knees now rest on that support. Let your feet roll out to the side. Bring your arms by your side, palms up. Good. We'll be moving on now to Supta Padangusthana. So if you have a strap, that will be good. I'm going to create a little space. We'll take the leg out to the side for the lateral version as well at some stage. That supine position once again. Stretching out through the left leg, pushing away through the heel. Lasso the belt around your right foot. It's not directly into the arch of your foot, it's a little bit further up. It sits just underneath the ball of the foot. And that leg is straight. You push up through the heel, descending the toes down towards your body. Keep that leg at a right angle to your chest. All we're going to move is the upper body with the breath. Inhale. Exhale, move the head and upper body towards the leg. Don't be inclined to pull that leg in. Holding the strap in both hands, pull the elbows out to the sides. Keep the chin in, then you won't strain the neck. Using your out breaths to explore through the posture. Working progressively, but not aggressively, as Iyengar was saying to us. New hands, if that's enough for you, gently release. If you're feeling you can go a bit further, take 3 more breaths here. After those 3 breaths, gently bring the head back to the mat. As we go again, this time we are going to bring head and leg towards one another to meet in the middle. Inhale. Exhale, head towards the leg, leg towards the head. Back of the knee on this left leg descending to the floor. If you can catch your foot or your heel, as long as that doesn't compromise the integrity on that left side. Hands, if that's enough for you, gently release. If you're going a little further, 2 more breaths here. Next exhale, gently bring the upper body back to the floor and that leg back to a right angle. Take the belt into the right hand, left arm out to the side, palm up. We want to keep this left shoulder in contact with the floor. And gently start to descend the leg out to the right. Notice when that left buttock or left shoulder starts to lift up. If that starts to happen, you've gone too far for where your body's ready for now. the buttock and the shoulder to the floor. Keep lifting your right leg up to the head. If you don't need the strap and you can get peace fingers around your big toe, then do that. Push out through both heels. Don't let that left leg go to sleep. New hands, if that's plenty, bring the leg back up. Otherwise, we can take another 2 breaths here. Bringing the leg back up. Okay, so we are going to take the leg across the body now. So change hands with the belt. The right arm stretches out, palm up, and we bring the leg across the body. When we get halfway, what's a good idea to do is lift the buttocks up and shift them over to the right slightly, and you'll probably get a few inches more depth. Keep the right shoulder down now, palm up. Just for a moment, can you take that right hand onto the top of the right pelvis and pull the pelvis away from the shoulder? So you've got plenty of space around the waist. Quite often what happens is we shorten through the waist as we twist here. Keep plenty of space. Down that right arm now. Just take 2 more breaths here. Gently bring the leg back up. And then we have to shift those buttocks back to center. Release the belt. If there's any problems with the lower back as we bring the leg down, bend the leg at the knee. Otherwise, abdominal muscles engage and gently lower the leg. Once the heel's on the floor, take 3 breaths to observe any differences now on your right and left sides. Bring the inner ankles to touch once again, toes up, ready for the other side. Take the belt around the left foot. As you would in a standing balance, so imagine you were standing on this leg, you would be engaging the quadricep, pulling the kneecap towards the hip, exactly the same in this supine position. You're going to bring the head and the body to the leg, leave the leg where it is. Inhale, exhale. Moving progressively with the exhales. Don't need any aggressive, sharp movements. Back of the right knee moving towards the floor. With your hands, pull out slightly on the belt so you're not crunching the shoulders up to the ears. New hands if that's enough for you. Gently exhale. As we're taking 3 more breaths here. And gently release. Let the body respond. And this time we bring head and leg towards one another. Inhale. Exhale, head towards the leg, leg towards the head. So that base leg is keeping you anchored, keeping you steady. It's like a boat when it's moored up, it might need to drop the anchor to keep it steady. New hands if that's plenty, gently release, otherwise 2 more breaths here. Good attention to detail, everyone. Gently release. For that lateral stretch now, take the belt into the left hand, right arm out to the side, palm up. Inhale. Exhale, slowly taking the leg out to the side. Right buttock, shoulder gluing to the floor. This is your tougher side. Wake it up, wake up, wake up. So my teacher, who was taught by Ike Iyengar, she would say that Iyengar would go around and prod them with a stick, and she used to do the same with her finger or her hand. If there was a part of our body in a posture that had gone to sleep, we'd get a prod, wake up, wake up. And all of a sudden, that area would come back to life. Good, gently bring that leg back up. Swap hands, left arm out. So we take the leg across, and then I get halfway and I need to lift the buttocks, shift them across slightly. And then I bring that right leg back a bit, straighten up, and bring the leg and lower it down. That left hip pulls away from the shoulder, space at the waist. You can look down the left arm if you wish. If you remember last week as well, we were talking about working from the inside out. So in this posture particularly, if we take that attention and bring it to the waist and bring it to the center there and let ourselves stretch from the center out. And if that's enough for you, gently release. Stay for 2 more breaths. 1 for 2. Good, bringing the leg back up. Center those buttocks once again, release the belt. Bring the arms down, engage those abdominal muscles and slowly lower the leg down. Once the heel is on the floor, taking 3 breaths to pause and observe. Draw the thighs up to the chest, hug in. Gently roll to the right. And we have been in that supine position for a little while, so please be gentle with yourself as you come up to standing and find your equilibrium in a standing position. You may or may not need a strap for the next part, so just have it there in case you do. We're going to take Uttanasana and bind at the wrist if possible. So if you can't bind at the wrist, then you will use the strap. Bring the feet hip width. Just like if we were in Tadasana, spread the toes. Lift the inner arches of your feet. Pull the kneecaps up by engaging the quadriceps. Roll your shoulders back and down. Hands to the waist, roll the shoulders back, bring the elbows together. Inhale. Exhale, start to descend forward and down. Scoop the abdomen back to the spine and then pull up. We bind at the wrist, so take your hands behind your calves. Doesn't matter which wrist you bind. One hand round one wrist. Stack the hips over the ankles. And then you can use the back of your forearms as a lever. You pull those arms to the calves and bring the head towards your shins. If that's too intense for you, hold the back of the calves, hold the back of the thighs. Just be honest with your practice. Your bind. Just take the head side to side and the knees bend alternately. Loosen off a little bit. Okay, reach for your strap. You can pull that as you come up. Hands to the waist. Inhale. Bring your head and chest up, flat back. Nice and strong. There we go. Good. Asana in the center of your mat. You need a strap as well. Okay, so step your feet 3.5 to 4 feet wide. Line your toes up, lift the inner edges of your feet. Take your strap, if you're nice and long, the width that you can, and put tension on the belt. Take your left foot in and your right foot out. Square the hips to the long edge of your mat. Exhale, flex into your front hip, reach and stretch. And then turn your arms for triangle. but keep the tension on the belt. Look up to your hand if that's possible, otherwise look straight ahead or even down. New hands, gently release. Or 2 more breaths. Inhale, press down through the feet and lift. Try and keep hold of the belt if for any reason shoulders or arms are really achy. Rest your arms down. Turn your feet, right foot in, left foot out. Inhale, exhale. Move into that front hip, reach and stretch. Windmill the arms. Keep the tension on the belt. Silas, have you got your arms in front of the chest? Have you got the belt in front of the chest or behind? Oh, he's on mute. Hang on a minute. Oh. The belt should be in front of the chest. Yeah, but you were just overextending in that shoulder. Okay. That's enough for you, come out. Otherwise, 2 more breaths. Inhale, lift to rise. Okay. Drop the belt, turn the feet so they're parallel. Heel toe the feet together or a little jump with the feet together. Tadasana. If it's okay and you have a wall that you don't mind putting your foot on, that's where I'd like us to practice with Ardha Chandrasana. So for example, it'll go like this. Just work through your triangle. I'm using the pillar in my lotus bell as my wall, okay? So we're working to our Ardha Chandrasana here, and your foot presses into the wall. Rotate the chest. It just allows us, we're not too worried about balance then today. We're just working with feeling really open and wide and expansive in our half moon. It allows you to lift this top hip here. Okay, so you have a go at that. Good. Silas, if you want to move into Pravrita Chandrasana, feel free. Turn the toes down and rotate the upper body. Bring the top hand to the floor. That's it. Your foot's probably slightly a little bit further forward. Take that front foot back a little bit and then your alignment will be correct. Yes, that's it. Very good. Good work. That's it, Susan. Keep going. Find your steadiness. Silas, come back to Ardha Chandrasana. Susan, one more breath here. And gently, gracefully as you can, release. Good. Round to the other side. Work through Trikonasana first. Just get your spacing correct. There we are. That's it, Susan. Trust yourself. Into the revolve, Silas, if you wish. If you're in the revolve, squeeze those inner thighs together. That's it, Susan. Good work. Back to Ardha Chandrasana. Gently exit. Back to Tadasana. Ardha we're going to use bricks today to put our hands on. So place them, your foot's going to be in the center there of the bricks. Well, no, sorry, your bricks are going to be a little bit further forward than the foot, like that. So you've got a triangle, foot and your two bricks there, okay? Bring your right foot forward and your left foot back. Square the hips. And really root down through that back heel. Bring your arms parallel to the floor. Inhale. Exhale, reach and extend. And as you extend, don't let that front hip move forward. Keep pulling it back. And back hip pulling forward. Bring the hands to your bricks. Okay, so this really gives you the opportunity to look at your alignment. That back foot is turned in at quite a deep angle. You're rooting into the heel. Your pelvis is as square as you can make it. You can pull the shoulders back, move the chest forward. Feel free to take the bricks onto a lower side. And try and get the abdomen and the chest towards the thigh. You can reach the arms out, you can stretch them out as far as you want to. That's it. Good. Really concentrate on bringing the chest forward, Susan. Ah, there, good. New hand, if that's enough for you. Bring your hands to your waist, come up to stand. Extra 2 breaths here otherwise. Nice and steady as you come up. And change sides. Pull up, not just from your feet, but through your roots as well. Again, remember what I say, whenever you're here in a standing position, if I were to push you side to side or front and back, you wouldn't move. You're that strong. Lift those arms up. Exhale, reach, extend. Don't be in a hurry to get to your bricks. Chest moving forward, shoulder blades moving back. Back foot rooted into the ground. If you can stretch the arms further, moving the bricks forward, without bringing the shoulders up to the ears, then please do that. Wherever you can find space, find it and stretch into it. Keep that gaze steady, keep the breath steady. I'm not ignoring you, I just can't see your camera, so I hope you're still okay there. Just another breath here, folks. Hands to the waist and inhale, bring the head and chest up. Good. Standing steady in your quiet mountain. Take a supported Virabhadrasana 3, so using the foot against the wall, okay? And it will be your choice as you work up through your core, whether you lift the arms. You don't have to. So let me show you what I mean by that. So we'll get our position correct first. Okay, this is really strong in the standing leg. So feel free to stand here, or you can lift the arms up. Okay, your choice. Between 3 and 5 breaths one side, and then change sides. Then lifting the arms, Susan, be careful with your knees. You're monitoring your 3 or 5 breaths before you change sides. You can shake off through the legs if you wish. That's it, nice level pelvis. Back to Tadasana if you're not already. And bring yourself down to your mat. If you happen to have 3 bricks, might be asking something now, actually having them to hand, but if you have, or a bolster or something as the 3rd one, then that's what we're going to use. We're going to take our left leg into a Virasana leg. If that really doesn't work for you, you could use Janushasana leg, that's fine. If you're sinking down through the buttock on that straight leg, thin brick, or that might be too much, you just might want a little bit of a rolled up blanket underneath the buttock. So this time I've got the triangle, my head's going to go on this one, and I'm going to reach forward for the 2 bricks here. Lifting the arms, bringing them parallel to the floor. Inhale. Exhale, hinging from the hips. Reach and stretch, just like you were in your Parsvakonasana. Then the hands plant down onto your brick, forehead onto your other support. Check in that you're not leaning to the left or the right through those buttocks too much. Think about the front and back of your torso of equal length. Your leg that's outstretched hasn't gone to sleep. You're pushing through the heel, toes moving towards your body. And just check in that jaw is still relaxed. When we're trying really hard, sometimes we grip the jaw together. And if that's enough for you, don't drag yourself out. Come out gracefully. The rest of us gently lifting the head and chest. Both legs forward. Pause and observe. Here, just let the legs and feet relax. Change sides. Do you need any extra support underneath the buttock there? If you do, take it. Spine nice and straight, lift the sternum without overarching in the lumbar. Inhale, lift the arms, bring them parallel to the floor. And exhale, reach and stretch. So just a little note there, the reason I don't encourage us to start with the arms up is there's more of a tendency to round into the spine as we come down, okay? So you can do it with the arms up, but you have to be really, really disciplined, okay? So if we start here, we can just pull those arms out. And it's a good point to note, all of us teachers teach slightly differently, and that's okay as long as the teacher can explain the reasons why they're doing something. New hands, if that's enough for you, gently exit. Otherwise, 2 more breaths here. Gently release. Good. Stretch those legs out. Let them relax. Pause. Take your bolster or a cushion now. Sit on it. Bring your right heel towards the bolster. Interlock your hands around the front of the shin. Lift up. Support yourself with your right hand. That arm wants to be like a pillar at the back of your spine. Inhale, lift the left arm up. Bring that knee in towards the midline slightly. Elbow across, bring the armpit, the knee to the armpit, and turn. So this bolster's a bit high, actually. It's leaving my shoulder a bit high. So if you're finding that, just stretch the arm out and have your fingertips on the floor. Pushing the knee into the arm into the knee. Working from the center out in your twists. Back to center, stay upright through the spine, no collapsing. Change sides. So we keep that focus with the mind, keep the sharpness of the mind into the body and into what you're doing. Lift up. Bring that hand round to support you. Inhale, lift the opposite arm up. Exhale, knee moves in, bring the armpit towards the knee and turn. I'm bringing the right side of the rib cage round. Left side away. Back to center. Stretch the legs out. And then you can take a moment to pause and release. Choices here. Time to take an inversion, but you can take a semi-inversion by taking Viparita Karani, your legs supported up against the wall. Or you can take Salamba Sarvangasana. And I encourage you today, if you're taking Salamba Sarvangasana, is to use the strap, okay? And you need a loop in your strap if you have one, like that, because our arms are going to go through that loop. There's a point at which to put the belt around the arms, and that's when you're in a semi-Setu Bandhasan position. So I would lay back like this. I would lift my buttocks, and then I need to put that loop up and over my arms like this. That could do it even a little bit tighter. It's so that it just reminds us, even if we don't have what I call splayy out elbows in our shoulder stands, it's a good reminder not to. It just keeps everything strong. So get that up your arm, you don't want it on your elbows. And then you can roll yourself up or kick up from Setu Bandhasana, your choice. We want to bring the hands to the tip of the shoulder blades, push the hands into the back, fingertips pointing into the spine. And Silas, yeah, with your elbows, they're in exactly the right position. See if you can bring your hands a bit close to the tip of your shoulder blades. That's it. And just push into the back, push into the back. Resting well if you're in Viparita Karani. Silas, if you wish to come out through Setu Bandhasana, bring the heels to the buttocks, knees bent. Keep the knees stacking over the hips, support the back as you come down. Very good. Gently release. Susan, draw those thighs up towards your chest, hug in. And everybody gently exit from where you're working. We've had nearly a complete practice. We just have back bend to do now. Then we've covered the whole spectrum in a complete holistic practice. And we're going to do a supported, so we can start to relax in a supported Setu Bandhasana. So please take your bolster, take a blanket as well as you begin to cool down. Take a cushion for your head. The bolster is going to run up the spine. Blanket or cushion for the head, blanket over you, wish. Arms not quite by your sides, a little further out, palms up, so the shoulders can hang off of the bolster. And not quite officially set of Bandhasana legs because the knees are going to come to touch and the feet walk out slightly towards the edges of your mat. Once you're comfortable there, closing your eyes. Apart from Shavasana, this is your final asana. If that's enough for you, you press palms down, chin in, and roll up off of your bolster and come back into a supine position once you've removed the bolster. Otherwise, 2 more breaths here. Chin tucks, press the hands down, and gently come into Shavasana. If you wanted to, gently take legs side to side before you come into your corpse position. Please do what feels right. Time today together is coming to a close now. If you do have longer time to spend in Shavasana here, then I encourage you to do that. If not, take a really lovely big stretch. Stretching enormously. Draw the thighs up towards your chest, hug in. To the right, come up to your seat. If you're staying laying down, that's absolutely fine. As we bring our practice together to a close, I refer back to Guruji. I am a teacher to those who still have their eyes closed, but I always remain a student. Such words convey the humble attitude of all great searchers, be they saints or scientists. Devotion is another quality of the master who never complains and keeps a positive attitude. He said this: when you get students, thank God that you have someone to teach. When no one shows up, thank God for being free to work more on yourself. He wrote, when the Lord wants us to dedicate more time to our own work, he himself will provide. If he does not provide, we have to work and praise him continuously. Thank you very much for allowing me to serve you today and guide you through our practice. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Namaste. Thank you very much. If you have any queries or questions ever, please feel free to ask.
Thank you, Claire.
You're very welcome, Silas. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Claire.
Thank you, Susan. Go gently and gracefully in the rest of your day. Bye for now.
Bye for now.